Good morning. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining me for Rise and Shine. Hope all of you guys had an amazing weekend. Before we get started talking about today's topic, I just want us to take a moment. Just take some deep breaths, right? The moment that we wake up, so many of us have just immediately jumped into our daily routines and our habits and our patterns without really even taking a moment and truly think about all of the things that life has blessed us with. The heart that is beating by itself all night long, the fact that we open our eyes today, the fact that the planet is giving us oxygen that we can breathe in. You know, there are so many amazing things that life has blessed us with that it doesn't ask us for anything in return, right? Does the sun that came up this morning, the sun doesn't ask us, what can we give it back in return, in exchange for the sunshine that's giving us, right? Imagine if the sun didn't come up this morning. I think they said that it only takes about 18 minutes before everything goes to without the plants, without the sun, the plants won't survive. And without plants, we cannot breathe because we don't have oxygen. Where there are just so many things, like the fact that you have 2 arms and 2 legs, and your organs are functioning properly. All of these things happen for us without us asking, for it. This is the magic of life. Yet we are just the moment we open our eyes, we are so often jumping into our routines and we immediately go into the problem thinking, what is the problems that I have yesterday? We immediately jump into the one thing that isn't working in our life. But there's 1,000 infinite number of things that we can be grateful for right now. And this is something that you got to condition yourself to doing. Society has conditioned us to look for the one thing that isn't working. And that's what the news do. That's what mainstream media does. Right? So there are people and circumstances and habits and patterns that are keeping us in our smallness. Let me say it again. There are people, patterns, circumstances, and habits that are keeping us in our smallness right now. God has blessed us with this beautiful, amazing, magical vessel that stores our spirit inside, and we didn't come here just to hoard every dollar that we can, keep it away in the bank account, work hard, struggle, go to work, pay bills, repeat. God didn't give us this precious life to do this thing. Really think about that. There is greatness within each and every single one of you. But because of habits, because of patterns that we have been conditioned in us, we have been kept in our smallness. When are you going to break out of that? I see so many people that are so dear in my heart, including my parents. Now we are on this lockdown, and I'm seeing so much regret in their eyes because they have lived their entire life just concerned about saving money. And I don't blame them at all because that's how they were raised. They were raised in a very poor environment. They needed to save money, and I'm so grateful because they saved money. Then I have this amazing life that I'm blessed with. But all I'm trying to say is now you don't have to repeat the same patterns that you were conditioned to live in. You get to choose right here and right now that you're going to break out of your generational cycles of smallness. Generational cycles of smallness, generational cycles of living in poverty. There is greatness within each and every single one of you. The way that people create abundance, the way that people create all these celebrities that you see out there who have achieved massive success, there is no difference between you and them, in terms of your potentials. The only difference is that they utilize what God has blessed them with, the potentials, and they express that. That's the only difference, guys. The people that are keeping in their smallness, that are playing way too small, have forgotten, have abandoned the amazing gift, imagination, ideas, creativity that God has blessed us with, and we just worried about the silly things like settling for security, saving every dollar that we can for the 401k. Like, all of that is madness. You didn't come here to save for your 401k. Okay, are you guys hearing me? Like, do not live your whole life like settling in a relationship that doesn't serve your highest good, and then 10 years later you realize how much time you have wasted. Time is your only most valuable currency. And we are this constantly expanding being. We're constantly expanding, infinite consciousness. And if you're just holding on to the smallness, holding on to the job that gives you that steady paycheck, growth happens on the other side of unknown. That's where expansion happens. That's where expansion of your heart, expansion of your soul happens on the other side of the unknown. If you're constantly playing in the smallness of your routines, of your habits, you wake up, you do the same thing, you jump on your phone, on Facebook, but you gotta break out of that cycle. And the only way you do that is by making decisions differently, moment by moment. Right? You can start with the first thing in the morning, the moment you wake up your eyes. What do you choose to do? Are you going to be doing something that is of your highest good? So something like this, again, going back to what I shared earlier, something that is for your highest good could mean you are finding things to appreciate and be grateful for, instead of jumping back into your smallness routine, checking Instagram, checking Facebook. What good does that even do for you? That just perpetuates the cycle of you comparing yourself with another person. And that's how society has conditioned us to think that we're not good enough. At the end of the day, the number one reason why people are afraid to go after the dreams that they want, the desires that they have, is because they think that they're not good enough, or they're not worthy of this amazing, crazy abundance, this amazing success. It's inherently, we've been conditioned to feel like we are not good enough. It starts off from when we are really young in school. That's why I believe the school system is so toxic. It's so messed up. It has conditioned us to compare us and to compete. We shouldn't need to compete with anyone, guys. Like, we are each unique individual expression of the divine. There is no need to compete. Like, you remember in school, they have like these ranking system. Like, whoever does the best, they get stickers, or whoever ranks the highest, they get awards. Like, they get, it's so toxic. Like, our school systems have conditioned us to feel like if we don't achieve a certain level of success, we're not good enough. Like, it started really young. A lot of us feel like we're not good enough, or we're not worthy of success, of the desires that we have, so that we started settling. We started settling for the smallness. But you are just completely abandoning the amazing infinite potentials that God has blessed you with. You get to decide right now, guys. You decide right here, right now, that you're done with that. Like, what makes you different from, I don't know, whoever you look up to. There is no difference when it comes down to potential. The only difference is that the person that you're looking up to right now, who you wish you have their life, is that they decided they're going to go for it. But you're just sitting at home wishing for things to be different. When we all have the same access to the same resources that this universe has so abundantly provided. But unless you guys make those decisions, like, you can't really understand what I'm saying, because like, we are technically on like a different channel, right? When someone who has said yes to their greatness, who said yes to their potential, they literally shift channels and tap into a different realm where they get to download different inspirations, different ideas, different creativity, different opportunities, different people showing up in their lives, you literally tap into a different realm and different dimension where all of those things are possible, are visible to your eyes. But unless you say that yes first, it's never gonna show up. And you're just gonna live in this constant cycle of like wishing for things to be better, complaining, gossiping. Those are habits, those are patterns that are keeping you small, right? What do you spend your most of your time doing every day? Are you gonna spend it looking at the one thing that isn't working? And are you gonna be gossiping with people around you, complaining? That is keeping you in the smallness of who you are. Okay? Is that of really serving you? Is that of your highest good? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So instead of complaining, instead of wishing things to be better, why don't you do something about it? Why not? You are the only one holding yourself back. You are the only one holding yourself back. And the only difference between me and myself 3 years ago, like 3 years ago, I'm not this Miko back then. The only difference that have changed over these past 3 years is that I have consistently said yes to myself, regardless of how scary it was, regardless of how illogical it was. I said yes to my soul. I said yes to something that was in my belly that is telling me I need to do it. Like, this feels right. I have been following what felt right for me all along, every single step along the way. Even though lots of times that is scary as heck, like I'm gonna admit to that. There's so many times it makes absolutely no logical or financial sense. But I said yes because I trusted the infinite potentials in me. The only way that anyone makes money is that they use their mind, the genius minds, to think of an idea, and then that idea turns into an opportunity turns into a potential for you to receive money, right? That is the only way. So where I'm trying to go with this is that at the end of every single moment, are you going to say yes to yourself and your greatness and to break out of these toxic patterns, toxic habits? Like, it includes your thought patterns, guys. It includes the stories that you continue to entertain in your mind. Things like you tell yourself, like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not gonna be able to do this, I'm not. All of those ideas were conditioned in you by someone else. All of these, I can't do this, I won't be able to do this, all of these I can'ts were built into you by another person who were crushed by their own, their own inabilities to make their dreams happen. So they have decided that because it was not possible for me, I'm going to make it impossible for you too. Really think about the people in your life right now. And I'm not saying to hold grudges against them, because they're doing the best that they know how to do. But you need to be aware, you need to be conscious about who you are getting advice from, who you are building these belief systems in you, like whose thoughts are you taking, like borrowing from. That's why, guys, that is so important that you associate yourself in a community, in a network of individuals who are way up there, operating at this level. I plugged myself into communities and networks of individuals who are making 7 figures, 8 figures. Like, these people have achieved results that I have never achieved before. And by being surrounded by this group of individuals, your vision becomes bigger. Your beliefs become bigger. Your habits and your patterns, everything change because you are surrounding yourself in a new kind of energy. If you're constantly surrounding yourself in the same group of people who are dragging you down, who's holding you in your smallness, who's always telling you, like, who do you think you are? You cannot achieve that. Get away from them. Like, disassociate with love. You can love them, you can appreciate them, you can, just have so much gratitude for the fact that they've been They helped you get to where you're at today, but continuing to associate with this group of people will not serve your highest good, where you want to go. So really just do an assessment of your life right now. What are my habits? Who are the people that I'm surrounding myself with? Are they serving me? Is it for my highest good? Or is it holding me in my smallness? You know the answer. Your soul knows the answer. But we just don't ask the question. That's the problem. When we don't ask the question, the answers will never show up. So really think about that as you go about today. I just and the only difference between who I am today and 3 years ago are just the skill sets that I have accumulated. All the books I've read, all the podcasts, all of the personal development work that I've been doing, I have cultivated skill sets that supports me when those negative patterns start to show up again. Right? I still have programmings that were built into me by people, by others who are keeping me in my smallness. But the only difference between you and I is that I just have more tools. I just have more practice of how to break out those cycles, how to associate myself, how to network, how to build connections with people who are going to elevate me. You need to surround yourself with people who are going to elevate you. So, with that being said, I recognize the importance and the power when it comes to awareness, knowledge, and skill set. That's why this is really why my genuine intention, why I put together my 26 Days to Greatness challenge. It's completely free. I'm not asking for anything from you guys. I just want to see all of you to tap into your greatness. That's it. I know there are so many leaders out there right now listening to this, and you just don't have the guidance. Maybe you don't have the support. Maybe you don't have the tools, the mentors. That's why I put together 26 experts plus 10 more, 36 total. Powerful individuals, heart-driven individuals who have achieved massive success in their lives. I put them all together in a series. They are teaching you 36 tools and skills that you can cultivate starting June 1st, and you can tap into your greatness. If you don't say yes to yourself right now and go sign up on my website, there is nothing I can do for you. There is nothing other people can do for you. So it's time to stop complaining. It's time to stop playing too small. God has blessed you with something so powerful, so infinite. So there is endless possibilities or things that you can achieve right now. But you gotta open that box. You gotta unleash that. So, I hope you guys join me inside that challenge. 26 Days to Greatness challenge. You can, if you go on my profile, you can find the website. You can find information all about it. I really want to see all of you guys win. Seriously, guys. This is not about me at all. Success is like an automatic door. Exactly. George, yeah, exactly. So, right. You have to make the first initiation before the universe can show you the opportunities, the people, the circumstances that are going to change your life. You are literally saying yes to the universe, right? It's the universe has got so many opportunities ready to deliver it to you. But if you got your doors closed and saying nah, I like to stay in my habits, I like to stay in my smallness, it's not gonna force its way to you. The universe don't do that. You gotta say yes first. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say today. Such a beautiful day. Every single moment, guys, you can find something to be appreciative of. That is how you stay in the same frequency of the divine, of God, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, take some deep breaths. What I realize is that just by taking deep breaths, connect you back to the divine. Every day we're just so constantly in the cycle of doing. We're always hustling. Just got so caught up. The same way we get so caught up in our problems In the same way, we get caught up in the doing. So just take a couple deep breaths and just being with this moment right here. That's all you have, guys. All right, so I hope you guys join me inside my 26 Days to Greatness challenge, because you need the tools, you need the skill set in order to tap into your greatness. So sending so much love from my heart to you. And I will check in later today. Oh, exciting thing. Totally forgot to announce this. So I'm doing a new thing called Ask Miko Anything. You can ask me questions about relationships, about success, about entrepreneurship, about literally anything. You can ask me any questions, and I'm gonna be coming back on here every day, every weekday, to answer your question. So think of it as like free coaching. I just want to give back. I want to be of service. And I know I have tons of nuggets and wisdom in here that I would love to share and support you guys. So if you have any questions, any challenges that you're going through right now, there's a couple of ways that you can submit your questions. You can either comment on a thread. Oh, there's a puppy. Oh, hi, doggy. Oh my gosh. So you can either comment on the thread here, and I'll post a picture later. Ask Miko anything. You can comment on that thread with your question. You can DM me if you don't want anyone to see your question. You can email me if you want to. Just like whatever ways. Get connected with me. Ask me your question, and I will answer them live before you on Facebook every weekday at 4 p.m. PST, starting today, okay? So if you have any questions at all, any questions about entrepreneurship, success, relationship, happiness, it doesn't matter what questions you have, you can ask me anything. As long as it's appropriate, I will answer them, and it's just like a live Q&A. It's going to be fun, all right? So don't hold back. You know, if you don't ask, you will never get yes. Right, so if you have anything that you want to know, just ask. Any support you need, this is free coaching. So be on the lookout, make a comment, and I'll see you guys later today. I'll see you, check in, and say hi. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later.